Okay, so when you draw a tear on the face, it's kind of all about that shadow. The shadow that the tear makes, right? So you kind of just want to make like a drop. And I can't, can y'all see that? Okay. And just kind of shade it. You can get like if you shade too much, like I said, you can always take your eraser and take some of that shading out. But you can always use a picture reference or anything like that. But I don't want my person's not going to be crying today. No tears. I'm going to make a happy eye. So we're going to continue the shading all around the eye. And at the bottom lid. If you want, you can use your own eye as a reference. Look in the mirror and see how your eyelashes move and how the shadows on your face are. And you can go back in, like I said, and darken up some of those eyelashes so you can see them a little bit more clearly once you've shaded in everything. Now, let's talk about the eye itself. So, we're going to want to leave like a little bit of a highlight. So, I'm going to block out where I want some highlights to be. And our pupil is going to be the absolute darkest part of our eyeball. But you can still have highlights in your pupils. You know, so it doesn't have to be a completely black circle. There still can be highlights. And so here we are going to start to shade in the iris. So sometimes people have rings around their iris. I kind of have one, but sometimes it's like, go in the mirror and look at your own eyeball. Some people's are different, some people's are similar, but some people have like a dark ring around, and color starts to come out like this, kind of like rays around the eyeball. So this is where you kind of want to be able to see your lines, because your iris, which is the color part of your eyeball, if you look really closely, there's kind of these little like fiber looking things, and that's what makes the color of our eyeballs. So if you have a dark iris, these are a little bit harder to see, but you still want to show that there's kind of a texture there. But I'm going to make this part kind of shadowy because that's what I decided where the light's going to come from. And so I'm using the kind of a little bit more of the tip of my pencil to do this kind of line work because I still, like I said, you still kind of want to show you want to see your lines a little bit more. But here is where my highlight is. So that's going to be completely white. And this highlight's just going to be a little bit lighter. And so this all takes a little bit of practice, obviously. But the important part is to take your time and just practice shading, practice drawing your eyes, look in the mirror. I encourage you to just like kind of use observation sometimes. When you look at what you're drawing in real life, it forces you to see things for the way they truly are and not what you might think they look like. So instead of making your eyeball look like a football, you see how the difference between your upper eyelid and lower eyelid is and stuff like that. And then you can always, like, if you want a little bit more highlights, you can maybe erase a few more out and maybe darken up some other areas. But essentially, that's about it. And there you have it, how to draw a realistic eye. Thanks, guys.